What's up guys? So on this particular video we'll be discussing about how to reach Majuli River Island in Assam. So Majuli is the largest river island in the world, and this particular island is located in the northeastern state of Assam. And the best way to get to Majuli River Island is by using multiple modes of transportation. One is the bus, one is taking a rickshaw after the bus, and then taking the ferry to the island. Now keep in mind that the bus can be taken from multiple points, but you need to reach Jorat. Jorat is the closest city to Majuli. To reach Jorat, you can either take a train or the bus. The bus has a better frequency from Guwahati, while the train has limited frequency. There are a couple of trains which go to Jorat. The buses leave throughout the day and even in the night, so it's much easier to take the bus. Now keep in mind, once you reach Jorat, from the Jorat bus stand or from the railway station, you'll have to take a rickshaw to Niyamati Ghat. Now remember that the rickshaw ride from the bus station or the railway station to Niyamati Ghat will cost you anywhere between 350 to 400 rupees for the entire rickshaw. But the rickshaw drivers will usually look at you and understand that you're a tourist and tend to charge you anywhere between 500 to 600 rupees. You can bargain till they come down to 350, 400, and then depending on the time you have at hand, you can proceed with your journey. But my personal recommendation is anywhere between 350 to 400 is a very good deal to do this journey all the way from the bus stand to Niyamati Ghat. The journey by rickshaw is a breathtaking one, which because it will take you through plenty of paddy fields, and you'll get a very good vibe of what the countryside beyond the city of Jorat and Guwahati is, because when you're traveling to Assam it seems pretty crowded and congested, but as you are driving closer towards the banks of the river Brahmaputra, you will get a beautiful view of what the paddy fields and the greenery that Assam has, which is hidden away from the city. Now remember, when you're going to Majuli, the last ferry from Niyamati Ghat is at 3 p.m. so you got to be there early. The last ferry on the board is at 4, but there is a possibility that that ferry could get cancelled because of various reasons. So it's always better to reach there as early as you can. Anytime between 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. is a very good time to be getting there. You can book your ticket online because now everything can be booked online. You can just Google and you'll find the booking for the ferry online. It's called Assam Ferry Service, and you can just Google that and you'll get a link. Now once you book your ferry, you'll need to provide your details, your phone number and your identity proof details. The ticket is around 30 rupees per person, which includes your luggage. And this ferry ride takes anywhere between I would say half an hour to 1 hour, depending on the river current and how fast the ferry goes, depending on the load that is in there. Now once you reach the Niyamati Ghat, just make sure that you inquire for a ferry going to Kamlabari, because that is the nearest place to reach Majuli, where the tourist section is. Because from Niyamati Ghat there are plenty of ferries going to different points at Majuli Island, but the place that you need to be going to as a tourist is Kamlabari, because that is the closest place to get to where all the tourism is. Now if you're looking at this video, you'll understand that the rickshaw ride is quite a lengthy drive. So when you're paying around 350 400 rupees, it's totally worth it, because it's roughly anywhere between 10 to 15 kilometers that you're going to be having to take, depending on where you're getting your rickshaw from. Now once you reach the riverbank and you get your ticket, remember that make sure that you get to the ferry as soon as you can if it has already arrived, and get a seat and keep your bags intact so that you do not have to travel standing, because there is no limit on the number of passengers, and these ferries even take vehicles, that is two-wheelers and four-wheelers will be parked onto the barge. So just make sure that you get your seat well in advance, so you're not ending up standing for the entire journey. If you wish to stand, you can. It's a breathtaking view along the way. Network along the journey is very good. Even in the middle of the river, you will get scratchy Geo and Airtel network, so you do not need to be worrying about network. So once you have reached Niyamati Ghat and you've got your ticket and you've entered into the ferry, you can also book the ticket directly from the booking counter, like you can see in the video. This is where the booking counter is. You will have to go there physically, and you can either pay them in cash or GPay them the money. Once you've got your ticket, you saddle up. You can see a few food stalls behind us, and these food stalls are usually where people can have a few refreshments over there. You'll mostly get chai and a few other eatables like bread omelette. Do not expect anything lavish from these stalls because they're very basic. Since it's mostly locals who are visiting Majuli, it's very few tourists that make the journey to Majuli. So you might also be the only tourist in the entire vehicle. Most tourists that come to Majuli are local tourists from within the northeast of India. Just make sure that you have your tickets before you enter the vehicle, because you enter the boat, because before you enter the ferry you have to show your tickets and your ID proof again, because there's a registration over there. This is how the ferry looks like. It's a pretty cramped up scene. There are life jackets. There's also a toilet inside. And once you reach Kamlabari, you will get options to reach your homestay or your accommodation at Majuli. Bamboo huts is the best way to stay at Majuli. My personal recommendation is to book a bamboo hut. If you're looking for an accommodation, you can click on the link in the description and we'll be more than happy to guide you with an accommodation of our choice, in of our preference rather, in Majuli. Now remember that the entire journey from Jorat to Majuli will take you at least a couple of hours. So just make sure that you're there before the sun dips, because the sunset at Majuli, like the rest of the northeast of India, is at around 4:35 in the evening. So by taking an earlier ferry, you'll get more time to see the natural beauty of Majuli. To reach from Kamlabari to your homestay, you'll find shared vehicles like these magics, which will drop you from point to point. If you want to hire the entire vehicle, it will cost you anywhere between 800 rupees to 2000 rupees, depending on the deal again that you can crack with the person. These vehicles are easily available once you reach, because they're there to pick up people and they will take you through the village and they will take you to your homestay if you have one booked, or they can also help you with homestays. Now this is exactly how Majuli looks when you enter it. You wouldn't really feel it's an island. It looks like a very well developed civilization, but as you're driving through it, you'll notice that all the majority of the houses are made out of bamboos, and they are on the stilt, that is they are raised above the flooring. This is purely because during the monsoon the Brahmaputra floods, and this entire area which you can see on either side is covered with water. Now once you've reached Majuli Island, remember that on your return back you need to reach Kamlabari for your return back to the mainland, that is Jorat and the mainland of Assam. You need to be reaching there as early as, I would say, 1:30, because the return ferry usually is more crowded and it has a shorter span, because the last ferry from Niyamati is at 3:34, while the last ferry from here is at the return from Majuli is at 2:33. So the earlier you can reach there, the better it is. Now this is a view of what the bamboo hut accommodation is. So something like this you can book through our website, which will cost you anywhere between 1500 to 2000. This accommodation will cost you anywhere between 1500 to 2000 depending on the season.